She's about to put you on the screen.
Okay. All right, let's chop it up. Listen, good evening, good evening, good evening. All right, we are back. We are live. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. We still trying to get some stuff figured out. All right, we trying to use some new equipment, trying to get it figured out, but we are live. We appreciate you tuning in. I am Eric Davis with Let's Chop It Up. We want to say we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you for following us, hanging with us, kicking it with us. We appreciate as we go through this journey. We want you to be better. We want you to be informed. We want to be informative. We want you to be informed. We want you to be better. We're trying to make sure that we are uh, pouring in as much as we possibly can, getting some insight as much as we possibly can, making sure that we are healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually, emotionally. All right. This is Let's Chop It Up. All right. And so tonight we wanted to come on and go over a few things on tonight. Um, Tonight we want to talk about how does society see you. All right, how do you feel society sees you? It's something that we covered in our live in person, um, and we really got to the root of some things and how we're seeing. We had some views, we had different age ranges, so we were able to cover a lot of ground, and talking about how we had some cats that were in their 30s, some were 40s, some of the 50s, and we had some older in their 60s, even 70s. So we were covering quite a bit, and it spoke to generation. It spoke to how our upbringing and how we were taught to revere and how we were taught to respect. And if something were to jump off, how we handle it. So, now we got a lot of things with social media going on. You're able to record a lot of things. Then you got on the other side of it, how is it that we're seen? Because we do know a lot of times that one video, one tidbit, takes over how we are perceived and how we are how we are looked at, not sought, but how we are looked at. All right, so we want to break in tonight, just to cover that, a few other things, but really wanted to cover that. And listen, man, coming to you from the man cave on tonight. All right, uh, so you see stuff behind me, but we're gonna chop it up real good tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in again. Like I said, appreciate Khalees and Renee for helping me get set up here tonight. We're gonna get this thing worked out and figured out. All right. So just want to talk on tonight. How do you feel that society sees you? Um, just in conversations, man, that I've had with people, uh, looking, talking, and really getting a feel for has has the are we growing? Um, has the perception of us as men uh, gotten better? Um, has it been weakened? I think you're gonna have to go maybe generation to generation, because of how we grew up and what we uh, saw, what we modeled, what we desired to be, what we desired to do, if I can put it like that. Coming from someone who was born in the 70s, came up through the 80s, through the 90s, and now in the 2000s, 21st century. So we had a different scope of how men should act, how they should walk, how they should talk, how we should be, what we wanted. Um, and so now you look at this generation, they're looking at, is the model still the same? All right, that's the question we need to ask. Is that model still the same? Is that model still what drives men? Do you want to have a family? Do you want to be married? Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to be um, someone who's looked at? Do you want to be respected? Do you want to be empowered to make change? So I think those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. All right. We need to ask ourselves those questions. How are we viewed? And then how do we view ourselves? All right. How do we view ourselves? We hear a lot about, we talk about in this platform, we talk about uh, being in a safe space and being able to communicate, be vulnerable in a safe space. But now, are we creating safe spaces? All right, for those that are around us, those that are in our circle, those that are in our community. are we making safe spaces? All right, so I think we need to look at a lot of that, um, and make sure that we're creating safe space, because what we're gonna have to make sure of is that we are creating safe space. We are creating environments for people to flourish. We're creating an environment for people to be able to come and talk and sit down and chop it up and just be who they are. Uh, and listen, we talk about it all the time. We can't be on all the time. Man, you can't be on all the time. You know, you can't be on when you're home. You can't be on when you're chilling with your friends. You know, a lot of times when you're with the people who know you ain't got to be on. You shouldn't have to be on. All right. People are pretty much loyal to you because they love you, respect you, and they care for you. All right. So you can let your hair down and be who you are. All right. Be who you are. And so that's part of how we are seen in society. How do you feel you're seen in society? Because now let's be honest. I moved into a different community. All right. We moved into a different community. All right. So I've gotten different looks, if I can say it that way, gotten different looks, but I understand who I am. I understand my purpose. I understand my reason for being here. I understand who I am and what God has put me here to do. So I don't second guess anything. I don't worry about how I'm getting looked at or how it's perceived. I don't worry about any of that. All right. I'm secure in that aspect of who I am. And I think a lot of times that we got to be secure in who we are. That's a good point. We got to be secure in who we are. All right. And we got to accept who we are and where we are. All right. In this walk. All right, so I'm going just checking on my notes here real quick. So how do you see yourself? And that's we how do you see yourself? All right, you have to be okay with who you are. All right, we got to be okay with who we are. We got to be okay with who we are. All right, because it speaks to our confidence, it speaks to our emotional state, it speaks to our spiritual state. All right, it speaks to our mental health. You got to be okay with who you are. And if you're not okay with who you are, then we need to work on that. We need to find out why you're not okay. What is it that's causing you not to be okay? All right. Is it the struggles that you're dealing with? Is it past hurts? Is it past failures? And listen, let me help y'all, brothers. Failure is just an opportunity to succeed. All right. Failure is just an opportunity to succeed. That's all it is. All right. Listen, it's okay to take a L. It's all right to take a L. All right. You can recover from an L. You can get up, you can dust yourself off, and you can look back after you succeed. All right. You can look back and appreciate the loss. All right. I don't know about you, but I have to sometimes I look back and I appreciate all my losses. All right, because they helped me to get to where I am and they helped me to be successful in the place I'm in this area of my life. All right. So learn to appreciate, all right, where you are, who you are, all right, and learn to appreciate the losses that you may encounter, that you may have, all right. And then another thing, we got to be able to communicate, all right. And we always talk about communicate. I think it's key that we talk about communication. We got to be able to communicate, all right, how we're feeling. We got to be able to communicate the past hurts, the losses. We got to be listen. It's okay to talk about them and get them out, all right, because you don't want to keep festering over the same thing. You don't want to keep harping over the same thing. It's good to get it out of your system. All right. Once you've gotten it out of your system, talk to somebody, get it out, let it be a safe space where you get it out and be done with it and move on. And then you can grow from it. All right. You can grow from it, be and not even worry about it anymore. And then you can help somebody else. All right. You can help somebody else that is going through the same thing that you're going through. All right, because all we are vessels to help somebody else in what they're in. All right. Our experiences, our trials, our losses that we take, everything that we go through is to help. I don't know about you, but for me, it's to help somebody else. All right. I find out I'm always pouring in when I don't even realize it until after the fact. I'm having discussions with cats, and it's always after the fact. I realize, okay, that was the reason for that conversation. All right, whether it be, cats that, you know, are 20 years, I'm 20 years removed from a situation they were in. You know, somebody's got raising 3 girls, married with kids, young kids. And how did you get through this situation? How did you deal with this? You know, so those are things that I deal with. Being a young parent, all right, being married and young in my early 20s. How did you grow? Mistakes that we've made, all right. And so those are the things that we have to make sure that we're continuing to communicate, you know, because a lot of times they see, how are we seen? All right. We already know the misnomers of, you know, looking for good men, and, you know, there's a stigma out there that men ain't this, men ain't that. And then a lot of people looking for a man's got to have this to be successful, got to have that to be successful, you know, got to have certain type of money, certain type of job, certain amount of money in the bank. Um, it, all those things, all right? But a lot of times they're not looking at the heart of a man, all right? He's getting up, he's going to work every day, he's striving, he's a good dude, he's providing for his family, he loves his woman, he loves his children, he loves his family. He'll give you the shirt off his back, and he's going to be the one, all right, that's going to make sure that everything's okay. He's emotionally sound, he's led in faith, he's structured in God, all right. And so we got to make sure you create your own avenue of who you are, all right. Don't let anybody label you who they think you should be or who they think you are, all right. You have to make sure that you're communicating that in every way possible, all right, in every way possible. A lot of times you don't have to say anything because your name's going to go before you. That's something I learned years ago. I think I put it in a post not long ago. Our name's going to go before you. And it won't be you having to talk about yourself, because somebody, you're going to pour into somebody else. All right. Somebody else is going to talk about what you poured into them to somebody else. All right. And that is what we're striving to. All right. That's paying it forward. That's making sure that we're doing this thing, that we're encouraging one another, that we're successful in encouraging each other. All right. Because we having these conversations, man, and we're getting these results. We're talking about it, see it all the time. People are putting into action what we talked about, what we discussed. You know, they're getting better from it. They're getting healed from it. And so we change the perception of how we're seen in a negative light. All right. When we communicate, all right, we feel like we're in a safe space and we can think about what's going on around us and how can we be better from it or for it. All right. Um, and a lot of times what you have to look at is start to prepare. All right. And like I said, failure is just an opportunity for success. So start to prepare how you want to be perceived. Start to prepare how you want to be seen. You got to make, a lot of times we have to make changes, all right? And not saying that we're always perceived in a negative light, all right? But we always want to be better. We always want to be striving, all right? We always want to be putting our best foot forward. Listen, man, we got enough going against us that we can honestly sit down, breathe, take a minute, all right, and really do a self-examination. I had to do a self-examination on when I was sitting in, I was in the midst of an interview, and the question was asked, did I have any questions? And I said to them, what do I need to do to be better? Boom. All right. And that's pretty much what I said. And the interviewer just lit up. He said, that's the question I wanted you to ask me, because I know there's room for improvement. All right. So we got to take self-examinations and understand that there's always room for improvement. All right. We don't know it all. We don't have it all, but there's always room for improvement. And we got to make sure that we're putting in the effort, the work. All right. And then I had to look at myself and say, well, I should have started doing this. I should have started doing that. All right. But I didn't dwell on it. I didn't just kick myself. I understood, okay, where if I get it, I get it. I don't, I keep pushing. All right. So you can't dwell on that, man, because it's not going to define you. You know, one decision, one mistake does not define who you are. All right. It is a journey, a life of moments and opportunities. All right. The successes, the struggles, the failures, all that defines who you are till you take your last breath. All right. So that defines that your life. Let others speak well of you. All right. Let your family, your loved ones, your friends speak well of you. All right. Um, and one thing we need to discuss, man, Don't look at what you don't have. Look at the opportunities that you do have. All right. It's something I had a discussion. My daughter and I, with my youngest daughter, Khaleesi and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and I was encouraging her. And the Lord let me see and let me say it to her. I said, don't look at what you don't have. Look at the opportunities that you do have. And fellas, I think that is key because I deal with cats who are in different situations, and I'm looking at uh, you know, uh, they're young and they're having struggling with maybe transportation issues, living issues. But I had to say to some of them, look at what you got. All right, don't let this be an issue. And I'm speaking to their job. Don't let this become an issue, because if this becomes an issue, then you really have an issue, because now you putting your being able to support yourself in jeopardy. All right. So don't look at what you don't have. All right. Focus on what you do have. How can you add to make it better for you and those that are around you? All right. So, fellas, we got to be mindful of who we are and who's depending on us. All right. Because we always got somebody watching. There's always somebody watching. I don't care what stage you're in life. Somebody's always watching, and they're looking to see how you handle situations. And for those of us that are a little seasoned, all right, so we got to make sure that we move a certain way, all right, that we talk a certain way, that we make sure that we're guiding and directing a certain way, because cats are watching us. And it don't even matter that they're young. You got cats that may be your peers, and they watching to see how you move, all right? Because like I said, your name will go before you. They're watching to see how you handle certain situations. They're watching to hear how you talk about, your wife, your girlfriend, your loved one. They're watching to see how you are with certain individuals. They're watching to see if you're gonna be a snake in the grass. Hey, listen, it's real talk. They're watching to see how you move. They're not really listening to what you say at times, but they're watching to see how you react. They're watching to see, how you're gonna handle yourself in this situation, how you are with this person. They're going to see if you're talking out the side of your neck or you talking real talk, you speaking truth to them. So you got to be mindful of that. Listen, man, tonight is one of them nights. We're going to chop it up real good. We're going to get this thing going. All right. It's been a while since we've been on live, so we're going to make every effort to take every advantage of every opportunity on tonight. All right. So, don't look at what you don't have. All right. Look at the opportunities that you have and look at what you do have. All right. You still got breath in your body. You got the activity of your limbs. So you always can make a change. You always can put your best foot forward. All right. Let's be strategic in everything that we're doing. All right. Let's be strategic in everything that we're doing, because we got time. All right. But listen, time is also, I had a discussion on yesterday with a brother. Time is the one commodity that we cannot replace. All right. We cannot replace time. Once that minute is gone, it's gone. Once that second, that hour is gone, it's gone. And we can't get it back. It's in the past. All right. So we got to make sure that we are taking advantage of every opportunity. All right. Every turn we make, we got to make sure that we're preparing ourselves for the next turn. All right. So that's why this is vital to me. This is why it's precious to me that we're doing this, that we're making sure that we're getting this message out, that we're talking and we're encouraging. All right. And that we're coming together. All right. We supporting each other, and we're just making sure that we're being our best selves, man. And that's all we can really do. Be the best version of ourselves. All right. Something else we talked about, and that I was dealing with, and I actually had a conversation um, with my mom and my sister, and we were talking, and we go through these stages in life as we get older. And I know some cats, another discussion I had yesterday, we were talking, and I was explaining, because this person is actually dealing with something now. At some point, God willing, God blesses us for our parents to live and get older and get in their 80s and 70s and 80s. At some point, we as the children become the parents. I don't know if anybody has ever dealt with that. But if you have, you know what I'm talking about. If you got older parents, they're in their 70s and 80s, and you have to look after them a little more. You have to make sure they're communicate with them a little more. So a lot of times we become the parents. All right. And I had to say to my mother, my girls, one day, Lord willing, I live a long life, they're gonna come around and they'll probably do the same thing. I got one who thinks she's my mom now, and I jokingly say it with her. But I think that's just a natural cycle of life. All right. That's just a natural because they taken care of us, they poured into us, they supported us, you know. And at some point, as they get older, we should do the same for them. All right, Lord willing. We thank God for those of us that still have our parents that are living. Um, and so we just want to make sure that we're being the best versions of ourselves, man. I know we look on, we look at social media and we look at the news and you got stuff going on, we don't get caught up in all the celebrity, what's going on, but a lot of things that are happening under the radar, to just everyday cats, all right, who are out here struggling and trying to make ends meet or struggling, trying to find out why they're dealing with what they're dealing with, how can they be better? And it I don't want to say behooves us, all right, but I think we need to take heed to cats that we see every single day versus getting caught up on social media, get so into what's going on, what's going this and that one. Listen, these are people we probably won't ever see, we probably won't ever meet. But you got a guy that you walking by every day. You got a guy that you're communicating with every day at your job, on your job, somebody you may meet, out and about, who you can change their life just by having a conversation, just by taking a chance to listen, just by taking an opportunity to be silent, because sometimes they just need to talk and get it out. All right. So and in that sense, how do they see you? All right. You don't want nothing from them. All right. I don't want nothing from you. You don't want nothing from me. I just want to be encouraging to you. All right. If you need me to sit and listen, I'll sit and listen. All right. If you need somebody to talk to, I'll talk to you. You want to go get breakfast, get lunch, we chop it out just so you can. It's got to be a safe space. All right. You got to create, like I said earlier, we got to create these safe spaces, man. All right. We got to. Um, because the only way we're going to be able to help each other is if we feel comfortable and safe enough to do so. All right. So that's where we are, man, on tonight. Just want to come on, chop it up real good tonight. Another thing, man, we're gonna talk about. Don't forget what you got to. I'm sorry, don't forget what got you to the place that you are now. I apologize. Don't forget what got you to this point. All right. Look back on it. All right. Be appreciative of it. All right. See yourself for who you are and who God has made you. Listen, man, don't worry about how others see you. Don't worry about it, because they can do nothing for you. They can't do anything for you. All right. Either they're going to talk about you, all right, or they not. All right. Either they're going to talk about you or they're not. Listen, let's just clear our minds. All right. Let's clear our minds. Make sure that we're being the best version of ourselves. All right. Make sure we're being the best version of ourselves. Make sure that we're being um, uh, faithful and understanding. All right. Loyal. All right. To who we are. All right. Who we're called to be and what we're called to do. And that's pretty much all we can do, man. That's pretty much all we can do. All right. Just so you see a lot, you hear a lot, and I I don't understand how cats get jealous of other cats. You jealous of somebody, you envious somebody for what? That means to me you're not secure in who you are. All right. And that's first, you gotta be secure in who you are. You gotta be appreciative of where you are, gotta be thankful, because jealousy can breed something that you do not want in your spirit. All right. Look at Cain and Abel. Jealousy. Killed his brother over jealousy. You don't want to breathe that into your spirit. You don't want to breathe that into your psyche, into your emotion. You want to breathe that, man. I'm thankful for who I am. I'm thankful for what God has provided me for. I'm thankful for everything that He's done. I applaud to see people uh, move forward and succeed and do great. I'm a advocate of it. I love it. If I know you and you're close to me and you're in my circle and I see you succeed, I'm going to applaud you. All right. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to thank God for you, because listen, you're you know who you are by who you surround yourself with. Yeah, that's the best way I can put that. Look at your circle. All right. See who you are aligning yourself with, all right? And it'll tell you a lot about who you are. Yeah, that's the best way I know to say it. All right. Look at yourself, look at who you align yourself with, and it'll tell you a lot about who you are. All right. And a lot of times, I think we talked about this before. It's good for us to sit down, have a self-examination, do a one-on-one, just you and you, all right? You and you do a self-examination. What's working? What's not working? What can I do better? All right. How did I handle this situation? How did I handle that? I could have done this better. All right, I could have made changes, and it's okay that you talk to yourself. All right, I know they say don't long as you answer yourself, but listen, you need to have those conversations with yourself. Sit down, take a minute to breathe, man. I do it all the time. All right. So all it's going to do is help you. Sit down, think of just get a clear head. All right. And think about moves that you've made, the moves you need to make, and the moves you don't want to make anymore because they were not beneficial for you. All right. Especially if you've got people depending on you, got a family depending on you. So you want to make sure that you're making the right moves. All right. You want to, and I know it's tough, especially when you feel responsible for those that are loyal to you. I got a friend of mine who really takes that weight on. If something happens, he feels responsible because we all made a move, and we made a move because we knew who we were coming to be with. Um, and so when something happens, discussion he and I had, something that may happen, he takes he allows the weight to come on. And I had to say to him, look here, man, you can't do that. You can't take on that weight. All right. We believed in who you are. All right. We believed in who you are. And so we made the decision to do so. All right. So, and that's just a part of life. What's happening now is just a part of life. There's nothing you can do about that. We understand it because that's where your heart is, and that's great. But you can't let that be a weight upon you. All right. Can't let it be a weight upon you. So people that are loyal to you, respect you, care for you, all right, and love you. That's it in a nutshell. Because they care, respect, and love you. That's why they're loyal to you. All right. They see you when you're not on. All right. They see you when you're not on, when you taking everything down, you're not trying to put on a facade, you're not trying to uh seem like you're Superman. They see you for who you are. It's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to let your guard down. It's okay for you to let your walls down. It's okay for you just to be you. Listen, man, you got to be okay with being who you are. All right. And if you're not okay with being who you are, then we got some work we got to do. All right. Some things we need to get done. Some people we need. It's okay to go sit down and talk to somebody on somebody's couch. All right. It's okay to have somebody you can lean on and glean from, and try to get some answers. Some people that are going to have your best interest at heart. All right. That can help lead and guide and direct you to where you need to be, or that can support you in what you're dealing with. And I think a lot of times we may not feel that we have those people in our lives, but if you don't have them, you need to find them. All right. You need to talk to people. You need to make yourself available. All right. And a lot of times that's what we get a hard thing about doing is making ourselves available because we don't want everybody in our business. And I understand it, man. I understand you don't want everybody in your business, but it's okay for you to talk to someone who doesn't know you. All right. Who has no inkling of who you are and get answers for what you're dealing with. All right. Don't lose focus because of fear. That blessed me. That was something I thought about that today before we came on. Don't lose focus because of fear. Fear will put you in places that you really are not uh, supposed to be. Fear will put you in places. I about had a loss for words. Fear will put you in places that you are not supposed to be. All right. God is not giving a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. All right. So don't let fear dictate your choices, dictate who you are, because I've fallen prey to it. I've let fear dictate some situations, some decisions that I made, and they were the dumbest things I ever did. All right. had to learn from it, had to grow from it. But don't allow fear to dictate who you are. Don't allow fear to dictate your outcome. Because listen, fear is just another opportunity to succeed. That's it. All right. Walk out, step over fear, run through fear, knock it out of the way, move it out of the way, speak to it. All right. Speak to it. It's okay to speak life into your situation. It's okay to speak life into yourself. It's okay to encourage yourself. All right. Because listen, if you encourage yourself, that's half the battle. All right. You've got to believe and understand and truly, truly believe that the thing, excuse me, is going to be okay. All right. So make sure that you're understanding, make sure that you're not being moved by how other people see you. All right, that's the talk of the day. Don't be moved by how other people see you. All right. You have to know for sure who you are, all right, what you are, whose you are, and what you stand for. All right. I want you to stand strong, man. Stand firm on who you are. Listen, I am appreciative of everything that's been going on. I need you to do this for me on tonight. This is the last thing. I need you to celebrate your achievements no matter how small. All right. Celebrate your achievements no matter how small. Listen, I sitting there live. Listen, I done got to a point now. I celebrate the L's. I take a L and I celebrate it because I know that L is gonna catapult me to my next success. Period, point blank. It is what it is, bro. We're gonna chop it up just like this. I celebrate the L's now because I know that I'm getting stronger and I'm gonna be better for the losses that I've taken. It is what it is. All right. So that's my mindset. You may not have that mindset now, but that's my mindset. All right. So I want you to be better, man. Listen, uh, we out of time. I appreciate it on tonight. I told you we had a lot to deal with, man. We chopped it up real good. I pray that this was beneficial for you. I hope you, man, keep tuning in. We're going to keep chopping up. We're going to keep getting to the bottom of these things. Real men, real conversations. We getting real results, man. This is your man. I appreciate you rocking with me all this time on this journey, man. Like I said, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep striving, and we're going to keep getting better for it. I love y'all. I appreciate you. Until the next time, be blessed, stay up, and don't worry how other people see you. All right. See yourself. Look in the mirror and take a self-examination. It's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be who you are. All right. We'll chop it up with you soon. This is your man, Eric Davis. I appreciate you. Till the next time, real men, real conversations. We're getting real results. Have a great one, man. We'll talk at you soon. Peace.